that was a little bit how it looks here during the winter. And today it shows that it has been a lot of snow lately. So we have to keep in, and I feel something is very cold inside. It's in my bones, as Mr. Jim Carrey, I don't know, he said, it's in my bones. It's always important to keep a sober mind. I think that is going to be the topic. To keep a sober mind. You see, it can be quite hard sometimes to be a bench, to be a human being. I don't believe those that, even though people seem to have a fancy, nice life with all the equipment, all their wants, all their wishes come through, I don't think they become happy. I don't think that is the pathway to happiness. The pathway to happiness is a sober mind. To keep a sober mind. I think that is a pathway to some kind of a happiness, even though you are tormented, because people are tormented. People are taken advantage of. People are in different difficult and prosperous situations. But we are in a mindset of our own. Either we have it so others are envious of us, or we are just the envy one. That we envy someone. I think that is, I don't really see as people are lucky because they have this and that, or their wishes may come through, or they are able to do this and that and be wherever they want. I don't think that is, I think that is a cheat of degree, because you are on a journey in life. Why not regard the journey in itself as a journey of not only to be somewhere, but be in a state that you can keep a sober mind. I don't think anyone can take away my own sober mind, my own tranquility, my own... I don't think it is me that is distracted. So part of being me is maybe so distracted, so confused that I don't find my way back to the sobering mind. But in which way, I think that We have to come to terms with our misfortune or fortune, our happiness or lack of happiness. Jesus said something that I will give you in different words, but of course, but I will give you peace. I will give you happiness. My rejoice is something that nothing can compare with. And I don't want to go into the religious mentality per se. I don't like to take something not common, not relevant, to apply it in a relevant situation, because it is not. But I think to be relevant in this regard is to be a sober mind. And how to get to the sober mind, I think you have to realize, you have to admit that all the situation that you are in whichever situation, you can do so much. You can do what it takes to get out of it, or you can do whatever it takes to accept it. I think those two are the major role in life. That either you accept it or you strive. You will get, because there is a reason why you are there in the first place. You are not there because of someone put you, or maybe you are there because someone put you, but if it's not your place, you can declare it not to be your place. I have a hard time accepting people that use some foreign name, like in Jesus' name I command you, and so on. I have to be honest, I can't really grasp what that contains. But I think in my own way, in my own name, I can declare something. I think Jesus, in many ways, as in different other examples, is a distortion. It's a distraction. It's a cowardly approach to whatever beats me up, and to regard evil as something outside of me, that my misfortune is punishment, something like that. I don't believe in punishment. I don't believe that someone out there, which we cannot see, is punishing me. Sober mind. Get sober. The way to understand how to get out is to understand how you came here. That's important role for a man or a lady that want to get out of this mess. I think when people are imprisoned by someone, it is the mentality that led to this imprisonment. Don't blame yourself in a way, but you can make yourself responsible for the state you are in. Make it part of you. Maybe this is very confusing. Maybe it's confusing. Maybe it gives no sense for mainstream people. But and you say there is no other force than God, you have to understand this is for the religious people that have flown away, have lost their way. I think part of being believer is to believe in the ability that God gave you. Let me talk a little bit to the believers now, not only the leftists, because believers can be confused. It's more easy for a religious to get a toxic mind, to get out of order, because there is some what do you call it? Let me Google it before I say it. Magic words in prayer. I think many believes that it is magic in prayer. So you pray, you're asking God's name, and you think and believe that these magic tools of prayer will help you. I don't want to diminish or belittle or eradicate those ideas. I don't want to do it, but I think deepest sense is to keep yourself sober. I think that many people that get religious believe in this fairy tale that I use magic word and it will happen. I talked about my watch, my wristwatch. Now I had this. This is another watch. Now you can see the time here. I just started it, and if you see, I have even glued it on the top, so it can stand still as long as I can see the time. But this you see, I could pray for it. It stopped, and I knocked it. No, it didn't work. So you see, the sober mind. Now I get foggy. You see, a sober mind will calculate what is the reason for it to stop. The mechanic watch I was praying for when I was a child, in fact, it helped. So that was maybe magic words, I don't know. But I believe in intervention of higher powers than me. But you see, I have to rationalize and look inside this mechanic here. And there I saw a battery. That is, so I switched the battery with a newer one or some other battery, and it worked. So you see, the magic here is sobering up. To keep a sober mind is not to believe in fairy tales and magic words. It is to believe in my own ability to rationalize what is wrong here, rather to spend nonsense time in prayer. It could seem holy enough to pray for this watch. I've been praying for this watch hours and hours. God have to intervene. But you see, God wants you to sober up and do. My friend said something very wisely. God helps those that help themselves. that is sobering. That is also taking responsibility for your own state, your own situation. So when you are in a pity state like you and maybe me, we have to sober up. You see, it is a new year now, 2024, I believe. And what can we do? Time have gone. And you feel that time has gone too far. You can't recapitulate. You can't take back the time that is lost. And this is true. You can't make time happen again. Time is now. As I have stated earlier, time is always a present moment that we have hard time to define, while at the same time we are able to foresee some kind of a future, and we also have memories of the past. I think a sober mind need. God created us in this concept. I don't believe that animals have this time relation as we have. But to keep myself sober is to use time that I am present now, and my future. I can foresee a certain future, but I definitely know about my past. So this is sobering in so profound way that I don't think we are aware of those elements in our lives. So as a believer, I needed to sober up. It can seem to be a kind of a religious, holy act to say we need to pray, we need to read, we need to do good things and so on. And I believe in those things, but more. But if you can have a sober mind, you will calculate. And something more that is maybe sobering for the leftists, for the atheists, that you can't calculate it all. You can't know it all. As a human, I have found out that I can't know everything. That is sobering too. We have to analyze, we have to explore, we have to do research and find out. I debated with a guy that denied the existence of God. And I said, how can you use knowledge? He argumented in a way that we have knowledge enough to conclude there is no God. But I said, knowledge is something very unfixed state. If you are some kind of a dogmatic fixed state knowledge, we know so much now, we have all this knowledge, and you are high and mighty of that, that is not sobering. You can't judge in in a department that our knowledge can't reach. That is, I know a guy, he is a philosopher and educated as such. He said that to debate the true existence of God is it's rarely done, because we neither could I or anyone prove the existence of God. So you see, it is this radiations from the sun There are different elements that are radiated from the sun. And the more we educate ourselves, the more we explore in a sobering way, we will define what kind of elements that surround us. But those elements that is not reached our eyes, those elements that we can't see, yet we know the elements are there. It's sobering too, because you are so limited. You can go so far, as I said in the beginning. We can go so far, we can do so much, but we can't reach over to the other side. In that regard, we have to do research. We have to do some exploring. The dark matter exploring. So, you see, to keep a sober mind is something that I think scientists would love to have. At the same time, they want to use their intuitive ability, the intuition they get from working with stuff, like a musician and an author will play with their tools in order to come up with some fluent wordings, like the brother, what is about straight ahead, you don't get. That is a fluently brilliant word, but a musician, a composer, will have this intrinsic ability to go beyond his own borders, his own limitations, because there's something about what we are dealing with that makes us broaden our perspective. You can't sit still, not doing and taking responsible, and wish for a better future, a better life. You have to be in circulation, you have to be in move, you have to be intrigued, you have to do so and so. Let me take some coffee in order to continue. To keep a sober mind is of uttermost important. As a human, as a creative being, I'm creative. I invent what to say every day. And to live in the moment is also very sobering, because if you live in the past, you will be maybe so regretful. If you live into the future, you will maybe miss your encouragement, your belief in yourself. Live in the moment and do what you can do now in order to prepare the future for your appearance. My friends, it is a new year, and we have this tradition here in Norway that we want to do something good, some changes in the new year. I don't believe so much in that, but I believe that the more sobering mind I can have, the better life will be. Appreciate life as it is. See the simple, very banality of life, the kind of obvious things that you can make it through the day and have some minutes sleep. Just to get down to bed and have a sleep. I think many poor people sleep better than rich people. If that can serve as a encouragement, because poor people, I generalized by saying that, I know that, but people that don't have so much, they are without anything. I think they have less to worry about. They only worry about how to come through the next day. That is big enough. And the poorer you are, you're more suffering, of course, but the mind is at work. For the poor, for the less fortunate, compared with Western ideology, for the less fortunate, I think they sleep much better. And I have seen in my own life what a good night's sleep do to me. When I don't sleep so well, I get older. I get more worried. I get more lazy. I'm not that vigilant. I'm not that eager. So to keep a sober mind is to sleep well at night. That is the most sobering medicine you can have, to have a good night's sleep. And if you think that all your worries will help, I worry about this, I worry about that, I think that is not sobering up. I think that is going into toxication in your mind, because something tell you that always we have to find something to not only complain, but to mention, to get in focus. I think what you have in mind is what is reality. So if you are talking to yourself like me, say something profoundly good, as I do here. Do some YouTubes, some videos, like I do, just to say something of your own genuine mind. Be sober when you are talking. Be in a sober state. You may have some drinks, Shabbat Shalom drinks. I live to that, and L'chaim is even better. I will rejoice with some wine, but I'm not a drunk addict. I think why I'm not a drunk addict is I am fortunate to have a sober mind. So my friends, do what you can, live now, and believe in your own ability. Either you don't get it or you do. Believe in your ability to do it. Believe so much as Mr. Barnboim told us about, that only your will make it. And as Magnus Carlsen did the last rapid match, he won the gold medal, and he said, today the will won. His will was so strong, even though he was so fatigued. So my friends, stay blessed in the new year and reach so far.